Thank you so much. Yeah, there you go. Better? Yeah. It's better. Thank you. Good? Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Bridget Thompson, a proud Pepperdine alumni. I'm honored to be here with SAFE, an organization that continuously fights for safer roads. This definitely would not be possible without them. I'm so grateful to be here today to speak on behalf of four of the most beautiful souls that I've ever known: Deslyn Williams, Neve Rolston, Asha Weir, and Peyton Stewart. 2 years ago, on October 17th, 2023, my life changed forever. I lost my best friends, my college roommates, my future bridesmaids, my chosen family. That night, I stood on the side of Pacific Coast Highway until 3 in the morning, screaming, crying, and begging for my best friends to be okay. I called every hospital in the area, praying that someone, somewhere, would tell me they were alive. I didn't know then that their lives had already been taken in a matter of seconds. That night broke me. It left me with a kind of pain that I still carry every single day. But it also gave me a purpose. I made a promise on that road, a promise that I would never stop fighting for them, and I would never stop fighting to make sure no one else experiences what I did that night. For the past 2 years, that promise has carried me. Through every meeting, every press interview, every painful retelling of that night, I've carried them with me. We've taken responsibility as friends, as families, as a community to make sure that Deslyn, Neve, Asha, and Peyton's names are not forgotten and that their loss continues to drive change. You'll hear today about the progress that's been made and the work still ahead. And I want you to know this fight is not over. As long as I'm alive, it will not end. Because the stakes are too high and the lives we lost matter way too much. And because I refuse to let their names fade. I fight for Deslyn's loyalty and humor, for Neve's radiance and heart of gold, for Asha's wisdom and gentleness, and for Peyton's selflessness and ambition. I fight for their dreams, for the futures they were supposed to have, and for the lives they were meant to keep living. They were the kind of friends who made ordinary days feel magical. They lit up every room they walked into. And the love they gave me, the love they gave all of us, it's what keeps me standing here today. But while we push for continued accountability from our leaders, there's also accountability that starts with us. Every single time we drive, we make a choice to slow down, to pay attention, to care about the lives around us. Because every time we get behind the wheel, we are making choices. Choices that can either save a life or take one away. And behind every car on Pacific Coast Highway, there's someone's whole world inside. And I could promise you, you do not want to stand on the side of that road praying for someone you love to come home, only to realize that they never will. 2 years later, my heartbreak hasn't gone away, but neither has my determination. We've made progress, yes, but we still have so much more to do. I believe in this community, I believe in change, and I believe that Deslyn, Neve, Asha, and Peyton are still with us, guiding us, reminding us, and giving us strength to keep going. So as we stand here today, let's make sure their names aren't just a reminder of what we lost, but a reminder of what we're fighting for. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for continuing to fight with me. Together, we can make sure no one ever has to experience this kind of pain again. And together, we can make sure their light never fades. Now, I'd like to introduce Lee Haber, who is representing Caltrans.
Good afternoon. I'm Lee Haber, Caltrans District 7's Chief Safety Officer. 2 years ago, 4 young students were killed by a motorist who was excessively speeding on Pacific Coast Highway. Since that fateful day, the community has rallied to bring change to the way people treat PCH. At Caltrans, our number one priority is the safety of all road users, whether you drive, bike, or walk. I am here to provide an update on the collective work from the department and stakeholders on improving safety on PCH. I can report that the department completed its initial safety emergency work order in June of this year. The focus of this work order was on pedestrian safety improvements, more visible pavement delineation, radar speed feedback signs, and updating and upgrading warning signs. Additionally, an upgrade of an existing crosswalk that had flashing yellow lights has been upgraded to a signalized pedestrian crosswalk that was completed just north of Carbon Canyon Road and south of the Malibu Pier. It provides access to Carbon Beach to provide safe access for those who wish to enjoy California's beaches. And the Pacific Coast Highway Master Plan, focusing on Malibu, was finalized in June of this year. We are wrapping up our plans and specifications for the capital preventive maintenance project from Cross Creek Road to the Ventura County line that is anticipated to begin construction in 2026. Key safety elements include sidewalks and bike lanes in various areas, pavement delineation updates and upgrades throughout, and modifying 2 slip ramps to be right angles right side road entrances. Another project that will start in 2027 will make similar improvements from Cross Creek Road down to the McClure Tunnel in Santa Monica. Caltrans is assisting the city of Malibu to advance its 2 quick-build roundabouts north of Trancas Canyon Road at the El Matador Beach entrance and Encinal Canyon. These 2 intersections were identified based on safety data, collision history, and local input. The small-scale, quick-build roundabout project will demonstrate how roundabouts can slow vehicles, improve driver awareness, and create safer crossings for people accessing the beach. The results will help us understand what works best for Malibu's unique coastal environment. On top of that, the department is working with Malibu to issue an encroachment permit for the speed safety cameras to be installed at several locations along PCH. Caltrans is working closely with all our partners to maintain and improve safety in the rebuild areas that were heavily impacted by the Palisades fire. Our shared goal is to reduce severe collisions, calm traffic speeds, and make the iconic corridor safer without compromising mobility or access for the community. Together, we're working to make Pacific Coast Highway safer and more efficient for everyone, drivers, bicyclists, and pedestrians alike. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce Senator Ben Allen to share a few words about our dedication to the improvements of PCH.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for being here on this heavy anniversary. Very special thank you to all the young women I see here from Pepperdine who are here in memory of your fallen friends. I remember the day those 4 young women were killed very clearly. As someone who has grown up in this area, who has driven this road so many times, who's been so familiar with all of the deaths we've had here, we knew that something like that was going to happen again because we hadn't done enough to make this road safer. And all I can say is that their deaths were so terrible, were so tragic, was so senseless, so needless, that it really galvanized all of us to finally do something about these challenges. All of those improvements you just heard about from Caltrans, the bill that we all pulled together to pass to finally authorize speed cameras along this stretch of road, the improvements that are on their way, all come as a result of us all coming together, student community, the press helping us amplify these stories, the leadership, both from the state, the county, law enforcement, and of course our friends from the city of Malibu and Pepperdine University. All of us came together and said, enough is enough. This is unbelievable. This is ridiculous. We can't see so many more senseless deaths along this stretch of road. And we finally started to move the bureaucracy and move the legislative system to take action. Getting that bill passed for speed cameras was ridiculously difficult, given how simple a task it was and given how much suffering we've seen on this stretch of road over such a long period of time. And yet we did it. So many of you came up week after week to Sacramento and testified with us. Dads, moms, friends of those poor girls who told their stories and looked legislators in the eye and moved their hearts. That all made a huge difference. So this seems like it was such a long time ago, and I've been up here dealing with other tragedies, these terrible fires that we've dealt with, and so many other challenges. But I just am so happy. I wanted to come here today to be a part of this commemoration because I'm proud of us all coming together and working so hard to make improvements on this stretch of road. The last time I was here, we had a ceremony. I think it was on the year anniversary. They were pulling over so many people who were speeding, and it was a reminder of how robust the reaction has been. Remember, there was a time when we didn't have, before this happened, we didn't have CHP on this stretch of road. They're now here, regularly engaged, supplementing all the work of the sheriffs. We're doing these traffic improvements. And so there is an opportunity for progress here, and we're here celebrating that and celebrating the fact that out of this horrific tragedy, we're finally taking the steps necessary to improve the situation here on this stretch of road. So I'm the dad of 2 little ones. The Shanes have touched my heart. You put so much love and energy into these little things. All your heart goes into them. And to have them taken away by someone who's just having a bad day or is being reckless or careless because they've just decided to keep their foot on the pedal is just so horrific. And I just want to thank the Shanes for just staying on this issue year after year after year and making something special come out of the loss of their daughter. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of this. Thank you for the work you've all put in to help our successes so far. Just know that our office, the Assembly Member's office, we're just going to keep pushing the state agencies, the CHP, Caltrans. We're going to keep forcing these issues in front of them, asking these tough questions, and making sure that this issue doesn't get off the radar screen, because we have to do more. We know we must do more. We owe it to the legacy and the memory of those 4 beautiful young women. Thank you.
Now, introducing a representative for Supervisor Lindsay Horvath. She will be reading a quote for us.
Hi everyone, I'm Katie Abrams, a Malibu Field Deputy for Supervisor Horvath. The supervisor wishes that she could be here today, but thank you for having me. Today we remember Neve, Peyton, Asha, and Deslyn, 4 young women whose lives were taken far too soon. Their loss forever changed this community and strengthened our resolve to make Pacific Coast Highway safer for everybody who travels it. Every life lost to traffic violence is one too many, and every empty chair reminds us what is at stake. Making Pacific Coast Highway safer is a community-wide effort, and the supervisor, along with our entire office, are committed to doing this work together. Thank you for having me.
Now, introducing Captain Jared I. Perry from CHP West Valley area.
My name is Captain Jared Perry. I'm the commander of the California High Patrol West Valley area. 2 years ago, on October 17th, 2023, our community was shaken by an unimaginable tragedy. 4 bright, compassionate, and full of life young women from Pepperdine University lost their lives here on Pacific Coast Highway. They were daughters, sisters, friends, and classmates. Young women with dreams and futures ahead of them. And that night, a moment of reckless speed took that all away. For their families, the pain of that loss will never fade. And for those of us who serve your community, that night became a solemn reminder of why our mission matters, why every effort to make this roadway safer must continue with purpose and urgency. In the wake of that tragedy, the city of Malibu took action. Partnering with the California High Patrol, they made a commitment, not in words, but in deeds, to save lives on this highway. Since that time, the CHP West Valley area has worked tirelessly to uphold that promise. To date, our officers have written nearly 7,000 citations on PCH, Of those, more than 4,300 were for speeding, the very behavior that claimed 4 young lives 2 years ago. We've also made 9 DUI arrests, removing dangerous drivers from the road before tragedy could strike again. The effort has not been ours alone. Working side by side with our partners at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, Lost Hill Station, we've seen meaningful results. Fatal and injury traffic collisions on PCH are down. Even more encouraging, we've seen a 12% reduction in injury collisions along this stretch of highway. Those numbers represent more than statistics. They represent lives saved, families spared, and futures protected. But our work is far from done. Every life lost on this roadway is one too many. The memory of those 4 young women reminds us why we cannot stop and why we cannot grow complacent. Their legacy and the love of their families will continue to drive us forward as we work toward the day when Pacific Coast Highway is safe for everyone who travels it. On behalf of the California Highway Patrol, I want to thank the City of Malibu, LASD Lost Hills, Caltrans, all of our political partners, and all of our other community partners who have stood with us in this mission. Together, we honor the memory of those we lost, not only with words, but with action. Thank you.
Now, introducing Captain Dustin Carr from the Lost Hills Sheriff's Department.
Thank you so much. As the captain of Malibu Lost Hill Station, I want to begin by honoring the memory of the 4 remarkable young women who lost their lives tragically here on Pacific Coast Highway 2 years ago today. Their passing has left a deep and lasting impact, not only on the families, but the Pepperdine University campus and the city as a whole, as well as the public servants who serve this city every day. Their names remind us every day that the work we do matters. Pacific Coast Highway is one of the most beautiful roads in the world, but it is also one of the most dangerous. The Sheriff's Department remains fully committed to making this highway safer for everyone who travels it through stronger enforcement, improved collaboration with our city, county, and state partners, as well as our CHP partners, and through the ongoing community engagement and education. I wanted to highlight the Malibu Lost Hill Station's efforts, specifically in Malibu, so far in this period. Since the beginning of 2025, we've issued 5,100 citations. In the past 2 years, we have conducted 55 separate traffic enforcement operations utilizing grant money provided by the Office of Traffic Safety. These operations included DUI saturation operations, motorcycle safety operations, pedestrian safety operations, distracted driving operations, Malibu traffic saturation, and DUI checkpoints. In the past 2 years, we have taken 109 people to jail for DUI. I wanted to also note the impact that these efforts have had on our traffic collision numbers. Our traffic collisions are down a total of 50.9% year over year from 2024 to 2025. So far in 2025, we have not had any fatal traffic collisions on Pacific Coast Highway. We ask that you join us in our thoughts and prayers that this number continues. We will never forget the memories of those 4 young women or anybody who has tragically lost their lives on Pacific Coast Highway. Their memories continue to guide our mission and strengthen our resolve and remind us of the human lives behind the everyday safety efforts we undertake. On behalf of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, we honor their legacy today, and every day we work to prevent another tragedy on Pacific Coast Highway. Thank you very much.
Now, introducing Malibu Council Member Doug Stewart.
I want to spend just a moment telling you a quick story about Bridget. As Senator Allen said, passing the speed camera bill was much harder than it should have been. And within a few months after the tragic passing of these 4 women, we were facing a challenge at the state Senate in the Transportation Committee where we weren't sure if it was going to pass or not. we realized we needed to do everything we could to make it work. We called Bridget, and Bridget came. And I will tell you that in 3 minutes, she took that committee from being listeners to committed promoters of speed cameras for Malibu. And if there's any legacy that you can have for the four sorority sisters that you lost, it's that. But I will tell you, it is carried on. To hear the stories after the fact from the senators about their personal experiences with tragic losses on traffic, you realize this was going to carry on. And Bridget, your legacy remains. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. All right, I'm Doug Stewart. I'm a council member, City of Malibu, and I want to mention the fact that we didn't do this alone. There was a lot of people behind us that did this. Senator Allen, Assembly Member Irwin, Supervisor Horvath, the Secretary of Transportation for California, on and on. It was a whole group of people. It takes a village and a bunch of shoulders to stand on to be where we are today. So I want to talk a little bit about this. This evening, 2 years ago, our community was in an unimaginable tragedy. We lost the four Pepperdine women, and that left an indelible experience and impact on our city. From that loss, our city came together. Residents, law enforcement, state and county officials, and safety advocates with one purpose, and that was to finally make PCH safe. And since then, we've made a lot of progress. We got to thank our partners, Senator Allen and Assemblymember Irwin, and the massive outpouring of public support for Senate Bill 1297. It passed in record time, although not without a struggle, and that allowed us to install automated speed cameras at high-risk locations on PCH. That proven tool will help us reduce speeding and reckless driving along this dangerous corridor. And I'm pleased to announce that those cameras will be up and running in early 2026. Thank everybody for that. On the enforcement side, for the first time since incorporation, the California Highway Patrol now patrols PCH 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, along with our sheriff's deputies. And as it was mentioned, there's been a significant and critical reduction in accidents, traffic collisions, deaths, and DUI convictions are up. Many infrastructure improvements are also underway. We mentioned lane separators, better striping, crosswalk enhancements, and additional warning signs were installed quickly after the tragedy. And the city's own traffic signal synchronization program is now operational from Topanga to John Tyler, which is just the other side of Pepperdine. And the upcoming quick build roundabouts will help slow traffic and promote pedestrian safety and cyclists and drivers at two popular beach locations at the west end of Malibu. Public awareness matters too. The city secured state traffic safety grants for DUI checkpoints, saturation patrols, and education campaigns, including billboards, posters, and social media. Everyone traveling to Malibu should understand the risk and know how to slow down and drive safely. 2 years on, we honor Nim, Peyton, Asha, and Desson by continuing their work. Every law, every patrol, every safety improvement is a step toward preventing future tragedies. Their loss reminds us that vigilance, advocacy, and action are not only optional, but necessary. And I will tell you, that is now part of Malibu's DNA. Thank you for being here. It's not easy, is it?
Thank you.
There you go.
Now, introducing someone with a personal, devastating story who has dedicated his life to fixing PCH, Michelle Shane.
I'll probably be the only one that falls. I have a deep respect for those who spoke before me. Their job is not easy. But you heard the reports, you listened to the promises and the progress, about measures, about commitment. I'm here to talk about something else. I'm here to talk about death. 2 years ago, Neem, Peyton, Asha, Deslin were killed standing on the shoulder of this highway. Their ghost tires, the mark of their final moments, still haunt the memory of this community. 4 young women, 1 moment. My daughter Emily died 15 years ago. 5,667 days ago. Her chair has been empty. Between Emily's death now, 62 people have died on this 21-mile stretch. Today, David Rolston and 7 other partners mark 730 days with their empty chairs. What I need you to understand is we knew this road was deadly before Emily died. We knew it was deadly before Neem, Peyton, Asha, and Deslin died. We know it's deadly right now. 204 people have died on this highway since 1975. How many studies have been filed? How many promises have we heard? How many press conferences have we stood at? The file folder gets thicker, but the chairs continue to empty. I look around this community and I see something that terrifies me more than the dragon that is PCH. I see acceptance. I see people who've learned to live with death as a price for paradise. But death isn't a price. It's a choice we're making. Every day we accept incomplete solutions, which we're making a choice. Every day we drive this highway and think, it won't be me. We're choosing. Every day we rebuild our homes, but not this road. We're choosing. So here's my question to you. How many empty chairs are acceptable? 204, 250, 300? And what's the number we stop at? Because I got to tell you something. For the families standing here today, the number was 1. 1 was too many. I never dreamt I'd be an owner of an empty chair. David Ralston and Tracy never dreamt they'd own one. None of the 204 families who joined this terrible fellowship, this empty chair club, ever imagined they'd be here. But somebody's going to be next. Not next month, not next year. Somebody in this crowd or driving past us right now is going to be an empty chair. That's not pessimism. That's mathematics on a road we refuse to fix. So when you leave here today, I don't want you to feel sad for the families. I want you to feel something much more uncomfortable. I want you to feel complicit. Because we all are. Every single one of us who accepts another delay, another study, another promise while the body count rises. The dragon only feeds because we let it. Stop letting it. Neem, Peyton, Asha, Deslin, and Emily, you deserved a road that protected you. May your empty chairs haunt us until we finally do something about it.
Last but certainly not least, a man who raised one of these beautiful angels into the amazing woman she was. Father of Neve Rolston, David Rolston.
A year ago, I stood in about this same spot and tried my best to impart to those in attendance some sense of the 4 young women who were killed on October 17th, 2023, just east of here on Pacific Coast Highway. And that was a tall order then, and no less so now that another year has passed. And in the meantime, so many Malibu residents suffered devastating losses in the Palisades and Malibu fire. I'm not going to pretend that things aren't very different than they were a year ago. Remembering this event is painful, and reminding the citizens of Malibu who are trying to find a way to rebuild and recover is not something that comes easily to me this year. But I also feel an obligation to the 3 sets of parents who aren't residents of California to relay their thoughts and reflections on this mournful occasion. Peyton Stewart was an accomplished young woman who coached classmates on the fine points of business and taught others the skills one needs to enter the job market. An old soul who refused to compromise her expectations of a life lived fully. Her close friends often referred to her as Mom. Her younger sister Kathleen said of her, Peyton was the best role model of grace, ambition, and elegance a younger sister could ask for. She was a beautiful soul inside and out. I miss her infectious laugh, her sense of calmness, and her guidance, which can never be replaced. Life will never be the same without her. Asha Weir was a student of literature, poetry, and the arts. To those who knew her well, she was a gifted writer and communicator, wholly unafraid to engage with friends in exploring the meaning and purpose of life. Her mother, Vanita, wrote of her on this occasion, I miss the small, everyday occurrences like her phone calls when she would be walking to class, her texts that would make me smile, the pics she would send me of her coffee, a cute puppy, the sunset, or the beach. She appreciated the little things and cultivated that habit in me. I miss seeing her face and her beautiful smile pop up on my FaceTime. I miss her visits home and picking her up at the airport where she would be jumping up and down with excitement as my car pulled up. I miss our chats and her advice. Even though she was my child, God had gifted her with wisdom and discernment, and she gave the best non-judgmental advice. I miss her deep bond, our deep bond. We had such a strong connection that she would sometimes call out of the blue and say, Hey, Mom, I sensed something was up. Is everything okay? I miss watching her cheer on her brothers in their sports and give them all her great sisterly advice. She was my only daughter, so most of all, I miss all the little girly things. I hold on to the memories of our girl trips, shopping, doing each other's hair, our cups of tea together, her borrowing my stuff. I just deeply miss her presence in my life. She really was my best friend. Deslyn Williams was a force of nature, whose boundless enthusiasm for friends and classmates was infectious and charming. A biology major who excelled in STEM, she was readying herself for veterinary school. Her parents, Desmond and Olive, sent this statement. We want to reflect on a profound loss, a loss that has carved a deep void in our hearts. It has been 2 years since October 17th, 2023, a day that changed our lives forever. 2 years may seem like a long time to some, yet for us, it feels as if the clock is frozen. The shock, the pain, the emptiness and heartbreak we endure are indescribable. When Deslyn was born, we held dreams for her. We envisioned her growing up, graduating from college, stepping into a career and one day having a family of her own. Our aspirations for her life were endless. However, these dreams shattered in the wake of a tragedy that took her away from us much too soon. While the world continues to spin, life expects us to return to normalcy. But the truth is, we feel stuck in time. Our lives as we knew them will never be the same. Losing Deslyn has left an ache in our souls that no one can truly understand. No amount of time or medication can heal this wound. Yet amid our sorrow, we find gratitude. We are thankful for the 21 beautiful years we shared with her. Each moment, each laugh, and every memory is a treasure that we hold dear. We miss her more than words can express. Deslyn, as we remember you today, know that our love for you is eternal. Until we meet again, continue to rest in peace. Neve Ralston, our Irish princess, was from the moment of her birth our purpose. We chose to place her at the center of our lives. Our plans and decisions and priorities focused on what we believed to be in her best interest. We showered her with love and attention and devoted ourselves to discovering her talents and nurturing them. If she expressed interest or delight in something, we engaged with it. You inevitably realize you made mistakes along the way. You realize that your children have seen you at your best and at your worst. Just before she was killed, I had begun to reflect on the end of our journey as parents and the start of her journey as an adult. Throughout her childhood, she had discovered within herself resilience and courage and discipline. And I saw how those experiences anchored her and provided a quiet confidence and strength of her conviction. She was a person who radiated her love for people with enthusiasm and joy in sharing her life and passion for her community with everyone from the closest of friends to complete strangers. She'd adopted the phrase, "love that for you," as a way to express these values. She celebrated the hopes and dreams and successes, large and small, of the friends she cherished. She rejected what she called meanness. She saw when people were sad or unhappy and anxious and engaged with them. She delighted in laughter shared with friends, and she was humble and grateful. Neve sought to make a circle of friends, and throughout her life, she expanded it every day. While she was very much herself, her mother was the one person whose opinion, guidance, and approval shaped her, even in times when it was not what she wanted to hear. And so on this occasion, Tracy wrote to her, "While we'll always struggle with the big days, today, the anniversary, birthdays, holidays without you, it's the everyday moments that hurt the most. The constant, unexpected reminders that hit like a gut punch. It's the trip to Trader Joe's where I try not to cry when I see raspberries, your favorite fruit. It's missing the message, 'Hey, Mom, I added something to your Amazon cart. Let me know when it comes in.' It's waiting to binge the new Netflix show you found until you're home, curled up by my side on the couch next to me. It's the texts like, 'Call me, I have tea,' that always cheered me up. It's the nights spent at home with your friends here, filling the house with laughter. Most of all, I miss your beautiful face and your smile that could brighten the darkest day. I miss the future you never got to have, the loss of your potential, and the pure goodness of you that so many people will never experience." I'll conclude with the observation that those assembled here today amongst us are many young people who returned to Malibu on this occasion to mourn the loss of their friends and a shared future they had every reason to expect. The question remains, what type of community the city of Malibu will become in the future? What will your priorities be, and how will you rebuild and reshape? When Asha, Deslin, Neve, and Peyton were killed here, we heard the many voices that asked what could be done so that nothing like this would ever happen in Malibu again. 2 years later, I hope, as you think of them and see these beautiful young people standing here amongst you, that you will refuse inaction and compromise and demand that real and measurable changes to Pacific Coast Highway be implemented. And not next week or next month or in coming years, but today. Thank you.
Whoa. Okay. I want to point out the photos to the right and left of me. On the very, I guess it would be right for you, that's Peyton Stewart. This is Deslin Williams. And then right here we have Asha Weir. And then on the very far left is Neve Rolston. So that concludes our speakers, but if there's any questions that anybody has for me or the rest of the speakers, this would be your time. Yes.
Mel Times would like to ask, I think, Mr. Shane, what is the status of the Blue Highway and who will tell me about that?
The Blue Highway, which is a name we coined, is about using the ocean as the next PCH, not in a negative way, but as a positive way, using the ocean as a highway. And there are a number of people, at least a dozen, who are actively involved in trying to make that happen. And I will tell you that it's progressing, slowly, but it is progressing.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Any Caltran officers, officials here today?
Yes.
Monday night, the Malibu Planning Commission is going to vote on this proposal for bike lanes, street lights, and other facilities for safety from Cross Street and Ventura County line. What happens if that gets turned down?
We'll address that on Monday evening if that's turned down.
Some essential are there proposals to the safety highway?
Everything we've chosen is to improve safety along PCH. Street lighting at intersections where we've had crashes, those are important. The bike lanes, we've identified areas where we can get them in. That was items requested from the community in various areas and various methods during the master plan effort. We were hearing that before the master plan had started. So our goal is to get them in where we can. Sure. Roundabouts, basically, the name gives part of it, circular or semicircular intersection. The intent is the driver has to make adjustments on the vehicle alignment and trajectory, slow down to navigate it. Typical speeds when people enter them is about 15 to 20 miles an hour. Speed when they exit is 15 to 20 miles an hour. You have reductions in broadside accidents, crashes, excuse me. Those are a big item. Crash angles affect the survivability and the injury rate as well as speed. So the kinetic energy involved within the crashes, by having lower speeds there, we typically get side swipes instead of broadsides or head-ons. And those all bring safety about. They also work to slow drivers down. They have to have awareness along the highway as they move through, and as they approach them and leave them, the speeds are down. They improve ability for a pedestrian to cross because the vehicles are at a slower speed. With that, the driver has more awareness and time to react with a pedestrian there. Yeah.
What improvements have we seen in the last 2 years? There's been 4 kills, dead, and I haven't seen anything on speed restrictions. I've seen the police, God bless the police, who work there, but I haven't seen what you guys have done. Can you tell me what you've done in 2 years and what's going to happen? Because this is not a 55-mile-an-hour road. Until we see more deaths that are going to happen, and the injuries, because that's good. It's not the death. Michelle Shane, he's got to live with the death of his daughter and those other 4 students. So I haven't seen what Caltran have done, to be honest. Sorry to give you, but you take the salary, you take the pension, and you don't rock the boat. Because I came from England with those officials. Don't rock the boat. But we need to rock the boat because it's all already underwater. That's my lot.
Thank you. I think some of the folks here that know the work I do know that I tend to rock the boat a bit. We are moving through on speed items. The roundabouts are part of our speed management effort. We put up the speed radar feedback signs. That's an attempt. We also had the optical.
They're not on it. I haven't
Sir,
seen speed limits.
sir, I'd appreciate it if you'd let me finish, please.
Okay, go on.
Thank you. The optical speed bars are to help drivers navigate the curves. They provide an optical illusion to have the driver slow down. Part of our challenge is the past laws, 85th percentile. We go through, we do a speed zone study, we take at least 100 vehicular speed readings. We take the 85th percentile, meaning 15 drivers are above that number, 85 are below. So every driver driving this road, when we are doing that study, in a way is voting for setting the speed limit, whether we like that or not. This stretch of highway, you heard the numbers from our colleagues, CHP, LA County Sheriff. They've issued numerous citations for speeding. That is due to the community's choices here. I recognize the roadway environment. We're working in concert with them. We're bringing funding together and working on plans to address it. We've got additional tools being added to our toolbox. Enforcement is one aspect, engineering is another. We're working all of those. Unfortunately, we can't do them overnight. I wish we could. These take time. The efforts we're putting in with Malibu, we're working closely with them, and Supervisor Horvath's office has been fantastic with the support they've given us to get the funding for the roundabouts. This is an attempt to put roundabouts up there in that area. That is one area where we've had very high rates of speed at different times of the day. And when I talk about high rates of speed, I'm talking in excess of 100 miles an hour. We also have had records of people driving over 100 miles an hour on different segments of this highway between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. in the day. That's the data that we've gotten from several studies that have been done. I hear you. We're doing more. You're welcome. Yeah. I'm sorry, you've got to speak up now. Our current proposal that we're coming in with this capital preventive maintenance project does not include an underpass or an underground crossing below roadway crossing for pedestrians. City of Malibu, their public works director, Rob DeBoe, is working on a separate study on that. We're working with the city on that effort. Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, so that's going to conclude our press conference. In a short amount of time at 4 p.m., we're going to have a remembrance event for the 4 lives lost today, 2 years ago. So, yeah, stick around for that. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Alima Obali, and I'm currently a senior at Pepperdine University. I major in classical violin, and I play the guitar as well.
Hi, my name is Skyla. I am a sophomore at Pepperdine University, and I am a musical theater and biology double major at Pepperdine. I've heard there was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? And it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I did my best, it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I've told the truth, I didn't come to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of Song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Thank you. We're going to take a moment here, just a moment of silence, meditative to yourself. If you could all just bow your heads, if you want to say a prayer, or if you just want to think, we are going to do a few moments here. Thank you. I want to invite David Rolston and his wife, are you here, to come forward. Bridget, please come forward. And Bridget, is there someone else? We're going to release the docs. Is there someone that you, from the third person or fourth person?
Yeah. Where's Sophie?
We have 4 white doves here that we're going to be releasing in honor of our 4 Pepperdine students, our 4 fallen angels. Okay, here we go. So please come over here. I invite you to, and he'll help you with this. You're going to be personally releasing these doves. And as you do that, I'd like you to say the name of one of our fallen angels and release them into the air. Hold on here.
David, can you do Desmond? Sure.
Okay. I love you, my angels. Peyton Stewart.
You have to throw it? Do you have to like push him up? There we go. Neve, we miss you.
That was Asha, by the way. She's always so independent.
Yes, we should say Desmond.
Yeah. Sophia, just do Desmond.
Yeah, Desmond.
For Desmond Williams, you are loved and missed.
I guess I could just say this was the lovely Desmond Williams, the lovely Peyton Stewart. And over there, Neve Ralston on the left, and Asha Weir on the right. I know I don't have to tell most of you that because you're here because you love them, and I shouldn't speak off the cuff, but you give me hope for the future in a time that's been very, very unhopeful for us. And you're just incredible young people, and I hope that you make the future what you want it to be.
This, from here forward, this is your moment here. So if Bridget, if you want to say anything else yourself, but anyone else who wants to say something, whether about our 4 fallen angels, maybe a story, could be something happy. It could be some moment where you just want to just tell everyone what they meant to you, or your own personal story about PCH. I'm just going to say a few words in terms of, we're not going to get political, we're not going to get anything mean or hateful. That's not the point of this. But I want to just invite anyone at this point to come forward and say a few words. And I'm going to just kick that off with Bridget. And I literally mean any of you. Come forward. Say something to all of you. This is your moment. This is your remembrance event.
Okay. Hello, I'm Bridget Thompson. For those of you that don't know me, I was roommates with Peyton, Asha, and Neve, and Desmond was one of my best friends. They were all my bestest friends in the whole world. It's hard to stand here and talk about 4 people who meant so much to me. Peyton, Asha, Deslin, and Neve. They weren't just my friends, they were my family. The kind of friends who knew every version of me, who made life feel lighter, funnier, more full of meaning. Peyton was love in human form. When I met her, I was in a really vulnerable place, and she saw me. She really saw me, and she loved me anyway. She had this way of making people feel safe and important. Like you were exactly where you were meant to be when you were with her. Asha was gentle and wise beyond her years. She had a softness that grounded everyone around her, and a creativity that reminded you to slow down and notice the beauty in small things.